I think it's not just students who are intimidated by academic writing. I think the vast majority of faculty members, including myself, are intimidated by academic writing because, well, I think there's a couple of reasons. One is that when we read a piece of writing, we're almost always reading the finished product. And the many, many, many hours of labor and hard work and writing and rewriting and revision and, you know, sort of running around thinking, what do I have to say? That's not really visible on the final page, usually. And so, but we know that's a part of everyone's process. And so as much as I can reveal that as like normative, that this is almost everyone's process, involves a little bit of chaos, lots of rewriting, occasionally some self-doubt, that helps, I think, sort of ease the transition for many students, especially those who are kind of transitioning to college-level expectations for writing. But I know faculty members are intimidated by writing as well and find it, you know, difficult, and I find it difficult as well. So I try to share that experience with my students. I always thought of myself as a writer because I always enjoyed writing. I wanted to do the things that writers of books that I liked did, but also when people whose advice I valued began to treat me as if I had something to say. When I first started teaching, I had just the bare minimum of preparation, which I think is maybe kind of true of a lot of professors. Dirty little secret. My first approach was to try to get students to write like me. And teaching first-year writing really is my bread and butter. It's something that I do every semester, and it's something I really like to do. But I quickly realized that trying to get all my students to write like I write or like how I want to write is kind of a fool's errand. It's pretty much impossible. And so my pedagogy for teaching writing has evolved, first of all, by working with a lot of different students, traditional age college students, but also, you know, sort of the different types of students I've had the privilege to work with. And so one of my goals in terms of teaching writing is to get students to develop some confidence in their abilities as writers, and confidence in what they have to say. I want students to kind of value what they have to say and to be able to use writing and revision and research and all the other things I teach as a way to kind of develop that message that they have to say. Because as we all know, if you have to write about a subject, you end up refining and finding nuance in what you have to say. So I want students to do that. At this point, my pedagogy, I hope, is based in kind of an ethic of care, of caring about students and caring about them as people first, and that the kind of teaching and learning flows from that. Part of it starts with me, and I have to get to a spot where I trust my students and believe that they have something important to say. There's a quote from a writer named Peter Elbow I like a lot, where he says something like, good writing teachers like student writing, and they like students. And I try to remind myself of that. So I try to come in with that attitude. And that goes a long way. Thinking to myself, I'm not correcting, I'm not even really an editor, at least in the early stages of working with students on the writing. I'm someone who's really just here to help the student sort of achieve the next step. Anyone who's interested in creative writing, your first job is write the first draft. Everybody has really good ideas. Lots of people have a great idea for a movie script or a great idea for a poem. But the people who have success are the people who write that down. And so if that's you, your next step is just write it down. Then we can begin the real work.